What's up everyone? I am Jamie with Three Little Goats Homestead, and today we are in the soap studio, which means we are making something. With school starting and cold and flu season just around the corner, we are doing a whole series on herbal and holistic remedies to help you kind of get through the cold and flu season. So last week we did a fire cider, and I also started some tinctures if you want to check that video out after this one, of course. And then this week we are making some homemade vapor rub. So this recipe, if you include the essential oils, is really only 6 ingredients. There is one specialty ingredient that may be a little bit more difficult to find. You probably will have to order it online, which I will link it down below. I have yet to find any of it locally, which is the menthol crystals that we're going to be using. And then we're going to be using essential oils. And then I'm using beef tallow in this recipe, but it can easily be substituted for something else like more shea butter or coconut oil or something that's easily accessible to you guys. But without further ado, let's get Alright, so we're starting off with our beeswax already pre-melted because that's what takes the longest around here. It will solidify as I add my other ingredients, but it won't have to melt completely down again, which will save us a little bit of time. So for my recipe for my Vicks rub, I use a combination of beeswax, castor oil, tallow, shea butter. I also use some essential oils, and we're also going to be using some menthol crystals today as well. That's going to be what's really going to open up those sinus passages and help you breathe a little bit easier. So for this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and add in my shea butter. I like my stuff that, yes, it's going to make you feel better, but I don't want it to make your skin feel horrible at the same time. I don't like feeling greasy, so I don't like making products that make you feel greasy, if that makes sense. Get this out of the way. We're going to clear out our stove, and we're going to add in our beef tallow. Now this beef tallow is tallow that I have rendered myself. I have a video rendering beef tallow if you're interested in that. I dry render my beef tallow. It's just my personal preference. Just a smidge more. Come on. There we go. Alright. And then last but not least, our castor oil. Alright, so I'm going to put this back in my melter. If you guys are new around here, I use a chocolate melter to melt down my small batches because it just makes things easier than using a double boiler. And this thing has never seen chocolate, so it has led a pretty sad life. But I'm just going to pop it back in here. I'm going to let it do its thing and melt down, and while we're letting that melt down, I'll get all my containers ready. So to get all of my containers ready, I'm just going to spray them down with, well, they have been cleaned with soapy water and dried, and now I'm going to spray them down with 99% rubbing alcohol. I do get questions about where I find 99% rubbing alcohol, and I have found the easiest place to find it is at my local farm store. Most grocery stores only sell, I think, 91%, but most farm supply stores will have it in gallon jugs at the 99%. And a gallon will last you quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to let these all air dry, and then once all of my fats and butters and everything have melted down, I'll bring you guys right back. Alright, so everything is almost completely melted down, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my menthol crystals. Now these, a little bit of this goes a long way. It is very strong. Okay. And I'm also going to add in my essential oils. Actually, I'm going to check the temperature real quick. There's no point in adding oils in if it's too hot and it's just going to burn them away, right? So we're sitting at about 140, so it should be fine. So we're going to add in some eucalyptus. Now, If you don't know your usage rate for the specific oil you're looking for, I would recommend definitely looking it up, because you don't want to put too much essential oil in a product and it end up irritating the skin. So I usually, with a lot of my oils, don't go over 1 or 2%. Some oils I stay even lower because they can really irritate your skin. I don't know about you, but if I'm sick and then I put something on my skin and it does not, it ends up making my skin all irritated, I'm going to be even more miserable. So definitely don't want that. And we're going to give this all a nice stir. I still have a little bit of hard spots, but that will melt down, and then we can get ready to transfer this all over to our containers. I will say that my sinuses are definitely cleared today, so everything is nice and melted. So we're going to start pouring. Right, so I'm going to let these guys harden, and while they're coming to room temp and hardening, I'm going to go ahead and make the labels, and I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes. Well, for you guys, it'll be like now. Alright, y'all, so everything is hardened and come to room temperature, so we are ready to start labeling. I make all of my labels in-house, and I use a thermal printer, and I use Canva just to make them. So we got our front label, our back label. Just make sure it's not too hot because it is a thermal printer. And then we are ready to package them up, and they will be ready for the farmer's market. So I will see you guys in the outro. Alright, y'all, so that is what I've got for you guys today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, I will have our vapor rub available for sale on our website, which will be linked down below if you don't want to make it. And if you do want to make it, it will be included in a playlist that I will link down below as well, so you can keep track of all of the cold and flu remedies that we're going to go over throughout the season, including some that I've already posted, but we will be posting a lot more here in the near future as well. So be sure to subscribe for all of that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.